Honestly, I feel it's important for you to validate whatever emotions, whatever feelings you had. Like macam, for example, when we work, we cannot deliver certain things. It's okay. For me, for you to, I mean, like, it's not a crime. Like, because not everything you do or did in life will be a successful one. There should be like
a little hiccup here and there.
Yeah, there will be a hiccup here and there. And it's okay for you to validate that feeling, but because sometimes toxic positivity can also be, how do I say this, can also jeopardize whatever feelings that you might feel at the end of the day.
Hi guys, so we're back again with another GRADUAN Go podcast. My name is Hannah, and today I have two of the team GRADUAN members here with me today, Hanis and Fatin. So before we start, let's just have them introduce themselves, yeah? So,
hi, my name is Hanis. So on a previous podcast you have seen me before. So,
Hello, hi, my name is Fatin Yusof. I'm doing PR and events in GRADUAN. Nice to meet. Thanks for having us today, Hannah.
Thank you so much for being on today's podcast. This is, by the way, Fatin's first time in our podcast. So let's give her a round of applause for being here. Amazing. Okay, so today's topic that we agreed on talking about is the power of positive thinking. Okay, so bear in mind, we ourselves had to be on like a real good mental state to go on this podcast. Because it's kind of like late in the day. So, first and foremost, like positive thinking, right? What does it mean to you, in your opinion, in like your aspect of life? What is positive thinking?
you want to start first or?
Go ahead.
Okay, so for me, when it comes to positive thinking, right? So we're talking about a scene or people or events that we think in a good way, you know. So like we said, in Malay words, you call it husnuzon.
I just learned this word today. I've heard it so many times in the office, but I learned it today. Okay, so tell us, what is husnuzon?
So I just learned specifically what is husnuzon is. It is actually a bersangka baik towards people, towards any events or any scenes. So I think that's how we try to dilute in ourselves what is positive thinking.
Right, in a way, is it the same kind of like reda pun tak?
You have to like,
it's a different
thing.
It's a different thing.
Reda.
Yeah.
Okay.
So husnuzon first, then reda.
Okay.
What about you?
I think like for myself, positive thinking is more of like for you to think nicely of whatever unpleasant things happen. Like for any unfortunate things or circumstances that happen, you should always be it's not you should. I mean, like for some reason you have to be positive. You need to think the right thing. I mean, like, what are the reason behind it? For whatever things that happen.
Okay, it's also like being accepting,
correct,
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like positive thinking and accepting, what if like in a situation that's like really, really bad, how would you turn it around, to make it positive, or is positive thinking has its own requirements. Like it shouldn't be too bad, it shouldn't be like too crazy.
Right.
Kan? Do you think so?
Alright. So for me, I'm more focusing on the positive energy compared to negative, because I feel like it's quite tiring if you feel like always you attract dengan bad energy. For me, it's quite tiring and stressful. So the only thing we can divert ourselves into negative to positive is just, like I said, be husnuzon, whatnot. So I think like I said, it's very tiring, it's stressful. So what about you?
Like for me, I think macam last week kan, I was driving back home from the office, and then suddenly tiba-tiba out of nowhere batu jatuh.
On your car?
On my windshield.
Yes.
And then again crack.
And this wasn't the first time.
No, Hannah, this is like my second time it happened.
Oh no.
And in the span of 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I cried on the spot.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, like, I immediately called my husband and then tell him the situation and all. And I think to talk about positive, macam mana nak cakap, like I am not sure if I am the right person to talk about the topic. But honestly, positive is something that is very subjective. It takes, I mean, like, for me, it takes some time for me to really in that state of mind. I mean, like, to be really macam, okay, you know what? At least nothing happened to you. It's just a car. You are safe.
Yes.
Right. So macam Hanis cakap tadi kan, like she doesn't like to get too much of the negative energy.
It affects
but
you.
for myself, I think I need to be really in the real state of mind for me to be positive.
Okay.
It's not like I am really born as a positive person.
That's a very true fact, actually, because I feel like when it comes to positive thinking, you can't suddenly just wake up and be like, oh yeah, today's positive, you know? I feel like it takes time. You know, like, just because you're 100% today doesn't mean tomorrow you're going to be like 100% positive also. You could start off with a 50, you know, and then throughout the day maybe it decreases and then it goes back up. You never really know. But you are right. I feel like when you said you had to soak it in first in order to see the brighter side of it, that's also part of being positive, you know, because at least you saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Instead of like, oh, that happens to me all the time, I'm so, like, you know, unlucky.
I was so down, Hannah. That was me, exactly. I was like, why am I so unlucky? Why is it me? Because it takes a toll on everything. I mean, financial, I mean, like, obviously it cost me a lot for me to really repair and everything kan. So but again, look at the bright side. Inshallah there is something better.
True. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your positive thinking or your positivity, like for today example?
Alright. So I think it depends on the certain event or scene. Macam just now I had events, a graduate bootcamp with university. So of course I need to be, you know, positive in terms of delivering a message, you know, for all these students. So again, it depends. So for the giving all this speech and also graduate bootcamp to all the students, you need to always have the energy, positive energy to all the students. So for the students, I must say that I have to give 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10.
Right.
Because we want to deliver a good message to them. So of course we need to be extra careful with what we want to say, you know. So again, it depends on a certain occasion.
So which is a very valid answer, honestly. Okay, what about you, Fatin? How's your positive thinking today or like as of late?
Alright, so for me, I think this is really, like Hani says, very subjective for me to rate. But like I said earlier, I am not born as a positive person. But I am trying my very best, and I would rate myself for some reason maybe 7 out of 10.
That's good.
But of course, when I mean, like, every morning bila I bangun daripada tidur je, I think macam, okay, let's just switch the mood. Today's going to be a good day. So I have to instill the positive mind from the moment I bangun tidur tu. I terus macam like, it's going to be a good day. It's going to, everything's going to be good. I mean, like, honestly, I've been working closely with Hanis. I love her energy. Her positive energy all the time.
Which is exactly why I had to bring her in, you know, because like she is the epitome of positive.
Exactly. So I macam like, sometimes I rasa macam like, Hanis, mana you dapat your energy? like I mean, like, sometimes talking to students, talking to I mean, like, doing our things can be very tiring, very stressful. But the way how she handled it, I'm not sure if I could handle it exactly the way how she does it lah.
So I think it's just my opinion. So we have to go back to our religion, right? So this is as cheesy as it sounds. We always have to go back to our religion where they taught us something that whenever we want to do something good, we have to like deliver it 100%.
Correct.
Or more than 100%. So good things will come back to you.
Yeah.
So whenever we handle students, right, we always have this in mind where we want to help them.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's not about that we get paid and then we do it. It's about like we want to help these people who need us. So that's one of the example of the scene that I always tell like my colleague, like, okay, we do this, it's because of them. Then they need us.
It doesn't feel like a chore, but something you want to do willingly, regardless of anything.
It's not, I would say it's kind of hard for us to like divert the emotion to being positive. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's always go back to our religion where it taught us like, these people need us, so we need to deliver it 100%.
Yeah, and I also feel like the fact that you help other people, it contributes to also your happiness, knowing that you
kepuasan, you know,
like you know for a fact you did something. It could have been like 0.1% of a change in somebody's life, but you know for a fact you did something, so that contributes to you being happy, and then being happy leads to you being easier to get positive thinking, right? So now that we got into happiness and positive thinking, I have like a question that just popped up in my mind. Do you believe that if a person's not happy, it's harder to get to a positive place in their minds?
I honestly think that does. I mean, like, contributes to that because for some reason I have dealt with an individual. So I think must be like something unresolved within herself.
Right.
So, she cannot be positive at all. So all she thinks is like self-blaming and then been crying, like she don't know what to do. So like no matter how you try to persuade or like macam pujuk pun, it doesn't work.
So it does come from within, kan? Regardless of how many people try to help you, if you don't feel it yourself before you go to sleep at night.
Right.
So it's for me, to be positive, it comes and it starts from you yourself as an individual. Right. Yeah.
Okay, which is very true. No one else can like feed you so many things and then you be like, oh, okay, everybody says this, I have to be this, right?
Yeah.
Because the only one going to sleep with your brain shutting down is you at home.
Yeah,
alone,
correct.
Correct.
Yeah. So throughout the times that you have been going through ups and downs in life, was there like a significant moment in your life where positive thinking made you go through a certain situation?
Right. So, like last year, my mom passed away in December. I think it's quite recent for me. So, I think the feeling is, at first, I wasn't feel so motivated. But I still remember that night, I texted Fatin, Mak dah tak ada. And that was like the time where I'm so demotivated. I feel like, because I was about to get married 2 months after that. So there's so many things happen within like a short period of time. My mom passed away, and then I got married without my mom. And then I feel like until when I want to, be in that chapter. So I need to move on, and there's so many people that need me. Right. So that's when I feel like, okay, Hanis, if you want to feel demotivated or feel like be in a scene that you want to cry, okay, I give you a time, 2 minggu je. Then you just have to you can bounce back.
Right.
Yeah, because you have to know students need you, my colleagues need me, and also my family needs me. So that's when I need to like, okay, shift.
But don't you feel like it felt heavier because you feel like it was a responsibility you had to hold for others? Or was it because you genuinely feel like I want to be better, not because of anybody else, but because macam like, this would make me feel
all right.
better?
So basically it works both for me and for my team as well.
Right.
So for me, I need to be like level up compared to my previous year. And for my team, I think like Fatih, I work together with her. So of course, I feel like she needs me in terms of like not just work, or maybe as a friend. So I can't be the same Hanis last year with the
and drag it to this year.
Because
but honestly, I am very surprised. You are one of the strongest people I know. Like when that all happened, I feel like I was very proud, or not proud lah, more like in shock.
Wow,
shock.
it's like the wow.
Like wow, this girl really picked herself back up like really quick, like, you know. And to me that is a skill not many can do or like can kind of be.
But for me, I think maybe macam time is money now.
Fair. Yeah, that could also be part of the motivation to, you know, be more positive. And I feel like you out of all people have like the most positive thinking that I know, like regardless of any situation, which is also why I really wanted you in here, because like the way you see things is like really macam, oh, the grass is greener, but regardless this happens. So positive thinking is actually like, even in certain circumstances, you tend to look at the brighter side of things instead of the bad. And you have managed to do that in all situations without fail, and really proud of you. So about you, Fatin? How has there been a situation where you figured like, okay, this definitely I had to be positive in order to get through this thing?
I think up to this point I still struggle with mom guilt. So macam since I have Tia, so how do I say this? I miss a lot of her milestones. I couldn't see like all the things, like her first word. I mean, like all her first lah, basically. I miss everything. Sometimes I keep blaming myself, like, oh, why do I choose this path? But then again, I also, I mean, like, how do I say this? I am someone yang macam, I cannot duduk diam. I cannot. I mean, like I tried not to work. But it's not me. I wanna, like, for me, I wanna earn and I wanna give the best for my kid. So that's what keeps me going and be positive all the time. But then again, of course, there's sometimes that I will broke down. I mean, for quite some times. I mean, like for a few times dah broke down, cried, and sometimes it just hurt me that, I mean, like, because I traveled quite far from Subang to Ampang. Ampang to Subang, like sometimes bila I dah sampai rumah pukul 8, Tia dah tidur.
Faham.
And then the next moment bila I bangun,
you have to go to work.
I got to go to work, and she's going to school. So the only time that I have with her is just during the weekend. And sometimes tu pun I rasa macam tak puas.
Cukup.
I need more time.
I mean, that's 2 out of 7 days, you know.
So that is some of the things that I still struggle, and up until now pun I still feel that mom guilt. And I mean, like every day I just have to be positive, and whatever it is, I am doing this for her.
Right.
Correct. I mean, okay, so both of you said something about, like, you know, giving yourself time to, like, you know, break down and then feel all those feelings and then eventually bounce back and then think about the brighter side of things, right? Do you think it's necessary for everybody, for each and every person that has emotions here, that it's perfectly fine, and if anything, it's highly suggested that you do take your time to, you know, feel what you want to feel? Instead of like going straight into like, okay, I'm fine, nothing happened, you know, because that leads to toxic positivity lah. You know, like I'm also going to bring up the topic toxic positivity. Like, how would you know when positivity is too extreme? Because I believe that both of you, you know, had time to, you know, be with your feelings for a bit and then sit down and think about it, and then, like I said, see the light at the end of the tunnel and be like, at the end of the day, this, you know, there's something good out of this, you know. So what do you think about people who don't sit with their thoughts and then just really go straight into the positive side of the world and just disregard everything else?
There's one scene where toxic positivity, we need that, you know, we need to have that in a way that it depends on the occasion. Because some, like I said, I'm working a lot with students. So I think toxic positivity needs to deliver to them and send it to them. Because they have the idea macam ada yang, oh, I don't know this, I don't know doing that. So we need to like, okay, what I need to send to you is this positivity shoot
like,
to you.
You know it. You understand this. Yeah.
So on others occasion, I think toxic positivity also, it doesn't apply to I would say our personal life, you know. Right.
Hanis,
So,
do you know that you are the icon of toxic positivity?
yeah, I would say that. Yeah. I would say that.
Yeah.
Because I think macam I terlalu like tell Fatin like, Fatin, it's okay. We can do this. It's okay. Shoot.
Faham?
But then
sometimes you kind of need that kind of person in your life, you know, because instead of like,
I mean, it's a good dynamic lah. I would say the team is in a good dynamic.
Dia macam delusional, tapi but at the same time, but it's possible.
Yeah. But then again, we are all human beings, right? Ada part yang I feel like I feel down at the times, but I think macam we still need to go, you know. Right. So that's part of it. Like I think about toxic positivity.
I think if I may add on of what I mentioned just now, like Hanis is like an icon of toxic positivity, but honestly, I feel it's important for you to validate whatever emotions, whatever feelings you had. Like macam, for example, when we work, we cannot deliver certain things. It's okay. For me, for you to, I mean, like it's not a crime. Like because not everything you do or did in life will be a successful one. There should be like
a little hiccup here and there.
Yeah, there will be a hiccup here and there. And it's okay for you to validate that feeling, but because sometimes toxic positivity can also be, how do I say this, can also jeopardize whatever feelings that you might feel at the end of the day. Because macam if you try pun tak dapat, I mean like as much as you want to be positive, but at the end of the day you tahu that it's not going to happen, you sendiri frust. So macam there should be like a line or like a boundaries of how to be positive instead of toxic. I mean like toxic positivity.
I think it relates closely to having realistic expectations also. You know, like you can't, for example, you wake up today, you're not like 100% positive, right? And you think like, okay, sure, it'll get better. That's optimism because you're thinking about the future, right? So you're being optimistic, and then the 100% is still not there. You're probably just at 60 the whole day. Doesn't necessarily mean that you should push through and pretend everything is 100%, I feel, because this also goes back to, you know, when you bottle up certain things and then you bottle, the bottle gets too full and you're like, actually, what did I even fill in there? You know, like, it wasn't even good things that I filled in there. And then you're, like you said, at the end of the day, you juga yang frust. So yeah, I think this toxic positivity also relates very closely to realistic expectations lah. If it's not realistic, you can't be like, oh yeah, I can definitely do that, when you know deep down you cannot. Just be real, instead of lying to yourself lah. This is in a case of you telling yourself, because it's your own mind, your own thinking kan. If you want to do it to somebody else, by all means. I mean, I don't recommend you being toxically positive to somebody else. If you also feel like they cannot do it, just be like, okay, take your time. Don't be like, you can do it, we believe in you. That's pressuring. That's really pressuring. You know. At the end of the day, I think setting realistic expectations would be number one. It doesn't have to be a big thing, and you don't necessarily have to reach that expectation. But for as long as you know it's possible, you'll be fine. You know, because you won't beat yourself up too bad knowing that, oh, I didn't even get there enough, you know. Like, so I read this thing once in a book, okay? It's about someone who tried to quit smoking. So they've been smoking for like, let's say 10 years, proper smoker lah. And then you can't expect the smoker to stop the next day fully, because if they stop on a Monday fully and then Tuesday they start smoking again,
what's the point?
But instead, what you could do is that Monday, from a pack, they start smoking. In a pack, there's like, what, 20 maybe? They start smoking 18. And then on Tuesday, they start smoking 15. Wednesday, they start smoking 10 maybe. And then Thursday, if they go up again to 18, it doesn't matter because on Wednesday, they didn't go all the way to 0. So it didn't mean like their whole effort was burned. They gradually went down and gradually went up. And it won't feel like, oh, you just lost your whole effort of, 0. So that was something that really stuck to my brain, because when you want to start doing something, doesn't necessarily mean you have to like go all out. Because if you don't go all out the next day, you're going to feel like, oh, if yesterday I could have done it, kenapa today tak boleh? You know? So I feel like gradually getting somewhere is also positive thinking, because it's also a step more than before. Which is something you should pat on your back for.
Betul.
So, how would you come out of a negative place, or like how would you avoid getting negative thoughts in order to be in a positive state of mind?
Right. Okay. As for me, let's be real. I need validation from second opinion, because like, let's be real, I'm very like sort of like toxic positive juga. Like I always macam okay, boleh je buat, but I also need a second opinion. Like maybe like, Hanis, are you sure? I need that energy as well, you know. So to get out from that negativity, or maybe I macam terlalu push too hard on myself, so I need a second opinion from maybe someone that I close with, that know me better from anyone else. So like macam Fatin, kadang I pun story, I'll tell her as her opinion of how to do this, you know. So for me, I need a second opinion, that's all.
Okay, which is true. It's some kind of like a reality check.
Betul.
When you're like too high in the clouds or something. Right? Okay. Okay, that's good, because I think everybody needs that also.
Betul.
But that's something that not a lot of people would do, you know. Sometimes they just take in what they think and then dah tutup buku.
Keep it to themselves.
But it's also great to have a second opinion. What about you, Fatin? How do you like remove negative thoughts and like get back to the happy place?
Husnuzon.
I think surround yourself with positive people. And one thing, I think you have to be optimist. So for me, being optimist and positive is two different things. Because like, how do I put myself when I do things, especially work? I have to be optimist. I'm not sure what are the outcomes, but I know what I want.
You're hoping for the best.
I am hoping for the best. I'm very optimistic that that's gonna happen.
And you're doing everything in your power to make sure that it does.
Like kalau like macam no matter how things, how rough things getting, or things, how do I say this?
Ribut ke?
Whatever lah, how rough it is. I think it's important for you to be optimist and don't be too negative lah, basically. Like macam put aside like boleh buat ke, tak boleh buat ke. Like you have one goal, you have to go and get it.
Okay, that's very true as well, actually. So my last question for this session, for our viewers here. So what is the advice that you would give to somebody who's trying to adopt a positive state of mind, especially maybe the younger generation? How would you
inject them?
Like how would you tell them to do day by day with a positive mind, and like what do you think they should know when they have a positive mind?
All right. So first thing first, I always ask the young talents, I work closely with them. I ask them to like, you need to show your eagerness to do something, not just you do it just for the sake of doing it. If you show some eagerness in you, it shows that you really a serious person,
right?
So it always bounces back to a good result. I would say that. And then second is that, again, I would like to remind to all the young talents out there, like, always go back to your religions, where you come from. You know, that's where our religion taught us a lot of things, to be in a very good mindset, positive energy and whatnot. So that's two of the opinions that I always tell and advise all the young talents out there.
Religion would want their people to suffer. So
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Fatin? What is your advice to those who would like to adopt the positive mindset?
Like, for me, always validate your feelings. Because if, let's say, you tak validate your feeling, that is where things will get harder and tougher.
Yeah,
and
you're always
rough.
in denial, in a
you're
constant
always
state of denial.
Exactly. So for me, it's important for you to validate whatever feelings that you are feeling it, and then try to be positive. Look at the bright side. Why does that thing happen? Things like that. And of course, to reiterate what Hanis mentioned just now, it's important for you to also, I mean, like, with a very positive mind and mindset, especially for the young talents.
Yeah.
This is relate to job searching lah. I mean, like, it sounds. I mean, it circle back to what we does.
Yeah.
So we connect talents and also client companies with so we want to help them. So we always tell them, those talents, that if you want to get the job, you need to have a very positive mind.
Right.
You need to have that can-do attitude. You need to be confident in whatever circumstances. I mean, like, whatever things that come your way, you need to be positive to handle it, because it's going to be a rough or hard life.
Yeah.
Once you enter
in the working industries.
Adulthood.
Oh yeah, okay. The adulthood comes at you
Adulthood
quick, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also, I remember you telling me that surrounding yourself with good people, with positive people. I believe that I'm a big believer of surrounding yourself with good people in order to have a healthy mindset.
Yeah.
Because if you surround yourself with people who tend to bring themselves down, where are you gonna get the positive aura
energy
from? Yeah.
Yes.
Because I believe that humans feed off each other's energy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, if the whole office was in a really bad mood and I come into work in a really great mood, like, it would definitely affect me. You know, this is an example. Like, it would definitely affect me. I can't be the only one smiling and everyone's not smiling back. Nanti eventually I pun jadi macam,
apa salah saya?
Maybe it isn't a good day. You know? So surrounding yourself with people who are also healthy for your mind and also positive would definitely make a difference in your life. Yeah. So if you guys have any ideas or any suggestions or even any thoughts about positive thinking, feel free to drop us a message or drop a comment down below, because we want to know what positive thinking means to you and how you achieve to be in that state of mind. So I would like to thank both our talents for being here today.
Thank
and
you,
sharing
Hannah.
their piece of advices and thoughts and opinions as well.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you on the next podcast. Bye.
See you.